chosen one. You made God laugh with joy. Even the devil didn't expect this. In a quiet, forgotten corner of the world lived a young woman named Elara. She wasn't born into greatness, no royal blood, no extraordinary talents that the world could see. She was an ordinary soul, working a simple job in a small town, struggling with doubts, heartbreaks, and the weight of everyday life. But deep within her, something stirred, a quiet calling, a sense that she was meant for more. The heavens had marked her as one of the chosen ones, those rare individuals selected by divine purpose to carry light into the darkest places. Elara didn't know this at first. Her life had been a series of trials. She lost her parents young, faced betrayal from those she trusted, and battled inner demons of fear and unworthiness. The devil, that ancient adversary, watched her closely. He whispered lies into her ears. "You're nothing special. Give up. No one cares. God has forgotten you." He sent storms her way, illness, loneliness, failures that seemed endless. He expected her to break, to curse the heavens, to turn away from faith like so many before her. After all, that's what he specialized in, crushing the spirit of the chosen before they could rise. But Elara had a secret weapon she barely understood herself: unwavering kindness and a heart that refused to harden. One fateful day, everything changed. It started small. Elara was walking home from work, exhausted and burdened by yet another setback. She passed an old man sitting on the street, shivering in the cold rain with no one stopping to help. The devil smirked from the shadows, thinking, here it is, another chance for her to walk by, to prove she's as selfish as the rest. Instead, Elara stopped. She took off her own coat, the only one she had, and draped it over the man's shoulders. She emptied her pockets, giving him the last of her money for a warm meal. Then, with a gentle smile, she sat beside him in the rain and listened to his story. He was a stranger, broken by life, abandoned by family. As he spoke of his pain, Elara didn't offer empty words. She shared her own struggles, her faith in a God who had carried her through the darkest nights. "I've been where you are, but there's hope. There's always hope." The old man wept. For the first time in years, someone had seen him, not as a burden, but as a human soul worth loving. And in that moment, something miraculous happened. The old man wasn't just any stranger. He was an angel in disguise, sent to test the heart of the chosen one. As Elara's act of pure, selfless love pierced the gloom, a ripple went through the spiritual realms. Up in the heavens, God looked down and beheld the scene. His heart swelled with an indescribable joy. This was no ordinary kindness. It was the kind that defied all odds, the kind born from a soul that had been refined in fire, yet emerged radiant. God, the creator of all, who sees every sparrow fall and knows every hair on our heads, let out a laugh, a deep, resonant, joyful laugh that echoed through the throne room. It wasn't a laugh of mockery, but of pure delight, the sound of a father overjoyed by his child's faithfulness. The angels paused in their worship, smiling at the sound, for it was rare and beautiful, God laughing with joy at the triumph of one humble soul. Down below, in the depths, the devil recoiled in shock. He had orchestrated every trial in Elara's life, expecting her to crumble. He had bet on her bitterness, her resentment. But this simple act of love, this unbreakable spirit? Even the devil didn't expect this. His plans shattered like glass. He gnashed his teeth in fury, for he saw what was coming. Elara's light would now shine brighter, inspiring countless others, unraveling his webs of despair across the town and beyond. From that day forward, Elara's life transformed. Doors opened miraculously, opportunities she never dreamed of, healings in her body and heart, relationships restored. People were drawn to her unexplained peace and strength. She became a beacon, guiding lost souls back to hope without ever seeking glory for herself. The trials didn't vanish entirely. The devil would try again, but each time Elara's faith grew stronger, rooted in that one moment of divine joy. And in the heavens, whenever doubts crept into the hearts of the chosen ones on earth, God would remember Elara's act. A warm chuckle would escape him, reminding all creation that love always wins, that the humble shall rise, and that even the darkest schemes cannot withstand a heart fully surrendered. You, dear reader, if you're reading this and feeling the pull in your soul, you might be a chosen one too. Your small acts of faith, your quiet perseverance, they make the heavens rejoice. You make God laugh with joy. And trust this, even the devil won't see your greatest victory coming. Keep going, the best is yet to come. In the misty valleys of Eldoria, a land where ancient forests whispered secrets to the wind and rivers carried the echoes of forgotten prayers, there lived a young woman named Elara Voss. Born under a stormy sky 28 years ago, Elara was no child of prophecy in the eyes of the world. Her parents were simple farmers, tillers of the earth, who taught her the value of hard work and quiet faith. But fate, or perhaps divine design, had woven a different thread into her destiny. Unbeknownst to her, the celestial councils had marked her as one of the chosen ones, those rare souls selected before time began to bridge the chasm between heaven and earth, to carry the flame of hope into the encroaching shadows. Elara's early life was a tapestry of ordinary joys and profound sorrows. As a child, she roamed the wild meadows, her laughter mingling with the songs of birds. She had a gift for seeing beauty in the mundane, the way sunlight danced on dewdrops, the gentle curve of a blooming flower. Her mother often said, "Elara, you have a heart that sees what others miss." But tragedy struck when she was just 12. A fierce blight ravaged the crops, followed by a merciless winter that claimed her parents' lives. Orphaned and alone, Elara was taken in by distant relatives in the bustling town of Riverton, where cobblestone streets buzzed with merchants and the air smelled of fresh bread and distant smoke. In Riverton, life hardened her edges. She worked as a seamstress in a dimly lit shop, her fingers pricked by needles as she mended clothes for the wealthy. The days blurred into a monotonous grind, punctuated by small kindnesses she offered to strangers, a shared meal with a beggar, a listening ear for a weary traveler. Yet doubt gnawed at her soul. "Why me?" she whispered in her prayers each night, kneeling by her narrow bed. What purpose could there be in this endless struggle? The heavens seemed silent, but in the spiritual realms her whispers were heard. The devil, that cunning architect of despair, had long set his sights on Elara. Known in ancient tomes as the adversary, he was a being of shadow and deceit, forever scheming to snuff out the light of the chosen. He appeared in her dreams as a suave gentleman with eyes like polished obsidian, murmuring temptations. "Why suffer for a God who ignores you? Embrace the darkness. It offers power without pain." He orchestrated her trials with masterful precision. First came the betrayal of her closest friend, Mira, who spread vicious rumors that cost her Elara's job at the seamstress shop. Unemployment brought hunger, forcing her to scavenge for scraps in the alleys. Then illness struck, a fever that burned through her body for weeks, leaving her weak and bedridden. As she lay delirious, visions of abandonment plagued her, her parents' graves overgrown with weeds, friends turning away in disgust. The devil watched from the ether, his laughter a low rumble like distant thunder. "She will break," he boasted to his minions. "The devil always do when the weight becomes too much. I'll turn her faith to ash and her light will dim forever." He sent more tempests, a fire that destroyed her modest home, reducing her few possessions to charred ruins. Homeless now, Elara slept under bridges, her spirit fraying at the seams. But amidst the chaos, Elara clung to a fragile thread of hope. She remembered her mother's words, "Kindness is the strongest armor against the world's cruelty." In her darkest moments, she helped others, a child lost in the market, an elderly woman struggling with her load. These acts were small, but they fueled a quiet fire within her. The devil, sensing her resilience, doubled his efforts. He whispered louder, "See, your God laughs at your suffering. Abandon him and I'll give you peace." Yet Elara prayed on, her voice a defiant whisper in the night. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of crimson and gold, Elara trudged homeward, or what passed for home, a makeshift shelter in an abandoned barn on the town's outskirts. Rain began to fall, cold and unrelenting, soaking her threadbare cloak. Her stomach growled, empty save for a crust of bread from the day before. Ahead, slumped against a weathered oak tree by the roadside, sat an old man. His clothes were rags, his face etched with lines of hardship, and he shivered uncontrollably in the downpour. Passers-by hurried by, averting their eyes, wrapped in their own comforts. The devil hovered invisibly nearby, his form a swirling mist of malice. "This is it," he thought with glee, "the final test. She has nothing left to give. She'll walk past, her heart finally calloused, and I'll claim her soul." He had arranged this encounter meticulously, knowing the old man was no ordinary vagrant, but an angel in disguise, sent from the heavens to gauge the depth of Elara's spirit. If she failed, the divine seal on her as a chosen one would shatter.
Elara paused, her weary eyes meeting the old man's. Something stirred within her, a pull, an inexplicable urge. Ignoring the rain pelting her skin, she approached. "Sir," she said gently, her voice cutting through the storm, "you'll catch your death out here." Without hesitation, she removed her cloak, the only barrier between her and the chill, and wrapped it around his trembling shoulders. It was her last possession of value, a gift from her mother, now given freely. But she didn't stop there. Digging into her pocket, she pulled out the meager crust of bread and a few copper coins she'd earned from odd jobs. "Here, take this. There's a tavern nearby. Get something warm inside you." The old man looked up, his eyes, deep and ancient, meeting hers. "Why, help me, child. You have so little yourself." Elara sat beside him on the muddy ground, rain mingling with tears on her cheeks. "Because I've been where you are," she replied, "lost, alone, questioning if anyone cares. But I believe there's a God who sees us, who loves us even in our brokenness. He's carried me through storms worse than this, and if he can do that for me, he can for you too." As she spoke, sharing stories of her losses and the flickers of hope that sustained her, the old man's face softened. He recounted his own tale, a life of wandering, betrayed by kin, haunted by regrets. For hours they talked, the rain a curtain around their makeshift confessional. Elara's words weren't preachy, they were raw, born from pain, laced with unwavering faith. Finally, as the storm ebbed, the old man stood, his form shimmering faintly. "You have a rare heart, Elara Voss," he said, his voice echoing with otherworldly resonance, "one that makes the heavens rejoice." In that instant, the veil between realms tore open. High above, in the eternal throne room where stars were born and destinies woven, God beheld the scene. The Almighty, infinite in wisdom and love, watched his daughter's act of profound compassion. It wasn't the grandeur of the gesture, but its purity, given from emptiness without expectation of reward, that moved him. A deep, resonant laugh escaped the divine lips, a sound like the birth of galaxies, filled with unbridled joy. The angels halted their eternal hymns, their faces alight with wonder. "Hear that?" one whispered. "The Father laughs. His chosen has triumphed in the crucible." The laugh reverberated through creation, a wave of warmth that touched every soul attuned to the light. Flowers bloomed out of season in distant fields. Weary hearts found sudden peace. But in the abyssal pits below, the devil staggered back, his shadowy form convulsing in disbelief. "Impossible!" he roared, flames licking at his throne of bones. He had anticipated every outcome: anger, indifference, despair, but not this, not love blooming from barren soil. His meticulously laid plans crumbled, his minions scattering in fear. Even the devil didn't expect this, a humble act that shattered his chains, proving that light could pierce the deepest dark. From that night onward, Elara's life unfurled like a long-suppressed blossom. The old man vanished, but in his wake came miracles. A kind-hearted merchant, moved by an inexplicable dream, offered her a job managing his shop with fair wages and a warm hearth. Her health returned, stronger than before, as if the fever had burned away all frailty. Lost friends reappeared, apologies on their lips, bridges rebuilt. Strangers sought her out, drawn to the quiet radiance she now exuded, a peace that whispered of divine encounters. But the devil, ever persistent, didn't surrender entirely. He sent subtler snares, temptations of pride as her influence grew, whispers of doubt in quiet moments. Yet each trial only deepened her resolve. Elara founded a haven for the destitute in Riverton, a place where the broken found solace. Her story spread like wildfire, tales of the woman who made God laugh, who outwitted the adversary with kindness. Villages far and wide sent their weary to her door, and she guided them with the same gentle wisdom. Years passed, and Elara grew into a legend, though she never sought the title. She married a kind-hearted blacksmith, raised children who carried her light, and lived to see her town transformed into a beacon of hope. In her twilight years, as she sat by the fire recounting her journey, she would smile and say, "It wasn't me, it was the joy in heaven that changed everything." And so, dear reader, if these words stir something within you, a quiet calling, a resilience amid trials, know that you too might be a chosen one. Your struggles are not in vain. They forge the steel of your spirit. Your small acts of love, unseen by the world, echo in eternity. They make God laugh with joy, a sound that silences despair. And remember, even the devil won't expect the victory that's coming for you. Keep faith, press on. The dawn awaits, brighter than you can imagine.